Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and this is Sakura Forest Girls 3, of course, the 4th episode. Let's see what can we do in this village, and if Aiyana can actually level up, because we know she is gifted with mana. Hopefully she can learn to use it.
This is a bit embarrassing.
Aiyana fiddles with the hem of her red gown, her head bowed. She's standing outside Mika's tent, the golden diadem upon her head glinting in the sunlight. I think she looks beautiful, for the redness of her cheeks does make her look a bit like a human torch.
I'm still not accustomed to wearing clothes like this. I fear they do not suit me.
They do suit you.
If the other villagers were to come out of their tents and witness me, they would surely think me a horrible show-off. I doubt they would think that. Even they live in such a close proximity to this woman. She's far more brazen than you.
Maia shoots Mika a pointed look, who responds with a smile. I don't get why Maia doesn't like Mika so much. Mika is great. And I like about Mika the fact as well that she's like, yeah, say whatever you want. It won't hurt me. You know, she basically doesn't care. Wonderful. I mean, she probably cares, but she's able to withstand that, which is wonderful. Which is definitely wonderful.
I think you look very tasteful, Aiyana. You have no reason to be ashamed. You are as delicate as a flower. But I did not dress you too, so I could heap compliments upon you. You still need some training. Oh yeah. I suppose this is why we came out here, isn't it? Yes, indeed. The magical prowess you displayed in Art's village was quite a sight to behold. I was mesmerized by it. For granted, I did not get a good view. I was in a cage at the time. A cage?
Mika pipes up, her eyes wide with curiosity.
How did that happen? Have nobody could best the great witch Maia? Nobody can best me. It was a small erring on my part, that is all. Ooh, a small erring that led to being caged up, like an animal. I did not look like an animal. I would never be that graceless. No offense, Maia, but you did look kind of like an animal to me. Well, excuse me.
Maia pouts.
It's hard to maintain one's decorum when one has been trapped inside a crude wooden cage full of slimes insisting upon touching you. Well, everywhere. Everywhere!
Mika gulps.
Now I'm even more curious. You've got to tell me the juicy details, Maia. Come on, Maia, come on. I don't have to tell any such thing. Stop being a nuisance, now! For I suppose in this instance I'm partially to blame for letting slide such a critical piece of information. I shall choose my words more carefully in the future. It would not do to let you know more than you need to. How?
Mika pouts as well.
So you're not gonna tell me how the great and powerful Maia wound up in a wooden cage being fondled by slimes? I'd rather not. A woman must have some secrets. Oh, you're so stingy. I'm hopelessly cruel, I know. That comes with the territory, given my status as a witch. Now to return to the business.
Maia casts her gaze over Aiyana.
Let me see if I can help you unleash your latent magical abilities as Imala did. First, let us press our palms together as twos. You must respond in turn, Aiyana. Press your palms against mine and meet my gaze. We won't get anywhere if you keep staring at your feet. Right. My apologies.
Aiyana lifts her head, her blue eyes upturned. Purple. For a few moments, Maia and Aiyana stand there, both mute and motionless. There is no sound at all, save that of a breeze, which disturbs Aiyana's white tresses and the delicate chains of diamonds which hold her dress together. Time passes, but nothing seems to happen. There is no shift in the atmosphere, nor any glowing lights. Is this experiment of Maia's a failure? Maia frowns.
I'm trying to channel my mana into you, yet nothing seems to be happening. Your body isn't responding. My apologies. Perhaps I'm not cut out for this after all. No. It is too soon to say that. You're able to use your magic once, so it stands to reason you should be able to do so again. There must be a critical difference between what I'm doing to you and what that wench did. I wonder.
Maia ponders for a few moments and then...
I've got it! When you unleashed your magic with that wench, it was whilst the village was being attacked by slimes, right? You must have felt afraid. I imagine your heart was pounding. I suppose it was, yes. I was so anxious I can't remember much about it. Looking back on it, it all feels like a blur. Yes, that must be it. To unleash your magic proper, you need a catalyst. And that catalyst would be an overwhelming sense of danger. You need to feel like you're under siege, and then will you be able to tap into your powers. That sounds plausible, I suppose. But I am no danger right now. There is nothing to trigger my abilities.
Really now? Maia grins wolfishly.
What if I did this?
Aiyana tries to stagger back, but too little avail. Maia is too fast for her. Maia dives forward, her arms outstretched and grabs hold of Aiyana's chest. She squeezes her bosom between her splayed fingers while Aiyana squeaks.
No, don't do that! Don't touch me there! I'm sorry, little Aiyana, but I must. I'm not doing this because I want to fall, granted. This is quite enjoyable.
Squish, squish.
I'm doing this for your own good, to trigger your flight or fight response. I will humiliate you
Please don't.
for awfully until you have no choice but to unleash your magical powers. Just try to escape from me. There's no way you can push me aside, not with those slender arms of yours. If you want me to stop doing what I'm doing, you need to use your powers. Squish! No!
Aiyana whimpers weakly, her eyelashes trembling. Her face is so red thanks to Maia's groping, it's almost indistinguishable from the lush fabric of her dress. Now, how do I feel about all of this? I'm jealous of Maia. Oh my god, you are saying this again. But are you jealous of Maia in a way that she's touching Aiyana, you know, as you wish you were touching Aiyana, or I don't like that. I'm jealous of Maia, let's say this one. I'm jealous of Maia, like really jealous. I wish I was the one squishing Aiyana's chest instead. Hell yeah. That's what I was after. She's so cute, it's just not fair.
Don't touch me there! Nothing for Koko and Aiyana! My body is sensitive, not used to it! You'd best get used to it, dear Aiyana. I'm not going to let go. In fact, I think I'll squish you harder.
Squish, squish.
Oh, I could get addicted to this. The cute size and soaps you're making are simply delectable.
By the way, we are still trying to trigger her magical powers, okay? This is just about that. Remember, there is nothing weird going on behind the scenes. We are just fighting. Maia is fighting with Aiyana to trigger her powers.
I wonder what other, more interesting noises you're capable of producing.
Squish, squish.
No!
Aiyana tries to twist free, but it's pointless. Maia is much stronger than she is. There's no way Aiyana can throw her off.
Oh boy, I'm having the time of my life. But these pesky clothes are getting in the way. Maybe I should remove them. No, you absolutely can't do that. Don't touch me.
Aiyana squeezes her eyes shut, her white eyelashes smacking together. Her fingers cut into fists, and then...
Huh? Oh my! No way!
A burst of bright white light erupts from Aiyana's body. The light is so glaring I have to glance away, so as to shield my poor eyes. I blink rapidly, white spots flickering across my vision like feathers. It takes a few months before I'm able to turn my head, but when I do...
Wow, that sure is something.
I find myself staring. Aiyana and Maia aren't standing upright anymore, as they were during Maia's relentless assault. Instead, they're sprawled on the ground.
What?
And they're all bound up in lengths of thick, coarse rope. Now, I wonder where those came from? What? What do you mean? I imagine in the older version of the game, you would get a CG for that. Aiyana spends the rest of the evening embarrassed about her grave with the ropes, which I can hardly fault her for. She doesn't talk very much, or at all, when we sit down to eat our dinner, which is delicious by the way. By the way. Aiyana removes her outwear once she's finished eating, and excuses herself with a quiet,
I think I'll go to bed now. I feel awfully sleepy.
I very much doubt Aiyana's sleeping fall, despite being curled beneath her covers. If I know Aiyana, which I do, she'll be running her pure failure through her head over and over like the repetitive pattern on a tapestry. I want to console her, but I'm afraid any clumsy attempts on my part will only make things more awkward. I'll try not to dwell on it too much for Aiyana's sake. I spend the rest of the night engaged in a little conversation with Maia, Mika and Koko. We don't talk about anything particular, we're simply content to enjoy one another's company. I mean, technically you wouldn't need to say anything to Aiyana. Just go, lay next to her, hug her. I think that would be comforting enough. Wait, did I read the previous lines? Yes, I did. Mika and Koko seem to be enjoying themselves an awful lot. They exchange furtive glances, giggle over inside jokes, and sit close enough that their shoulders are brushing. When Koko begins to tire, tears bedding her eyes, Mika takes charge.
I think it's high time we do that ourselves. We need our beauty sleep. I only want your good looks to be met with unsightly black bugs, my little Koko bean. Are you saying I wouldn't look cute if I had bugs beneath my eyes? Of course you look cute. You're the most adorable girl in the world, no matter how tired you are. But you're my girlfriend, and I love you, and I want you to look and feel the best you can. You need the rest. After all the excitement you've had these past few days, it will relax your mind and give your skin a healthy glow. Now let me help you get undressed. Woohoo! You don't need to do that, I can manage that myself.
Koko demurs, but she doesn't push Mika's intrusive fingers away. It's a sign of resignation or maybe relief, but Koko succumbs to Mika's touches. She lets Mika get rid of the first layer of the clothes like a life-size doll until she's clad in nothing but her undergarments, and by that I mean sleeping wear.
There, you're ready to rest now, I think I'll join you.
Mika also gets rid of her daily clothes, and she's also in her night clothes.
I'd like to lay my head down on my pillow and slumber, but first, you could use a bit of pampering. Do you want me to brush your hair? Brushing before you go to sleep can strengthen it.
Is that true? Is that true? I have no idea.
Plus it's so fair and fluffy I never get tired of tending to it. I think you're looking for an excuse to lay your fingers all over me. But I guess it's fine. It's funny how obvious you are for.
Isn't being obvious good for? She's stating that clearly. Outside that's a good thing.
Subtly isn't mine. Subtlety. Fuck. Subtly.
Subtlety, right? Am I incorrect about this? It's not subtly. That's not the correct word, right? Or should I say it's not the correct form right now? Let's see. No, not German. Yeah, subtlety. Subtly. Fuck.
Subtlety.
Subtlety. Okay, so you don't say the B. Alright, I will remember this. I knew that what they wrote he was not correct for. Subtlety, okay.
Subtlety isn't my strong point, haha. It really isn't. You would know the meaning of the word, not if it slapped you across the face. Well, that certainly wouldn't be very subtle.
Now they wrote it correctly. Mika goes.
Now sit here between my legs and let me look after you. I'll pamper you to your heart's content. I think you mean your heart's content?
Koko retorts, but she looks amused rather than perturbed at Mika's antics. Yawning, she obeys the girlfriend's orders. She kneels between Mika's thighs, her hands resting upon her own lap.
Do you want me to let down my hair? I can do it myself. Don't you trouble your pretty little head about it. For tonight I'll be your servant. You needn't lift so much as a finger. I'll look after all your needs. Thank you, that's...
Another yawn.
Very considerate of you. I aim to please, that's my motto. As a merchant. And your humble servant. I would rather you be my girlfriend, not my servant. I can be both. I'm very versatile, not to mention flexible. I'm only too aware of that.
Mika unties Koko's pigtails, then runs her fingers through her golden tresses. She combs out the knots her hair slowly, taking special care not to cause her any pain.
I'm not yanking too hard, am I? No!
Koko sighs, her eyelashes falling shut with contentment.
That feels good. You're doing wonderfully. Thank you.
Mika grins.
I think I've gotten all the knots out I can with my fingers. Now I need to brush it. 100 strokes should do the trick. Won't your arms get tired? No, I'm made of strong stuff. Really?
Koko frowns, her expression and her voice are steeped in doubt.
You never go hunting with me and you never do any chores.
We talked about it already.
That's cause I'm saving up my stamina, so I can use it to look after you. Don't underestimate me, Maia can attest that I'm very energetic. Oh yeah, she is. She has far too much energy for her own good. There you see. That wasn't a compliment. You never compliment me, Maia. I'm used to your icy ways. That's how I became so adept at ferreting out crumbs of praise amongst all the insults. Fortunately, I don't have to hunt through my beloved Koko's words of slivers of kindness. She showers me with praises like shooting stars.
By the way, Shooting Star, the song from Ya Boy Kongbin.
So good.
Speaking of Ya Boy Kongbin, I do have the songs. Shooting Star, I have the opening, and what's the third one? I don't remember the title, which is a bit of problem. Shooting Star and okay, I don't care about some weird bands. I care. Paripi Kome. Be Crazy For Me, exactly. So those three songs I have on my CD in the car, and literally teaching the people on the road the culture. It's so, those songs are so good for. Anyway, back to game.
I do nag you on occasions, but you are very good to me. Why wouldn't I be good to you? I love you, you silly Koko bean.
Mika presses a kiss against the crown of Koko's head, which makes her stir. Then she rises to her feet to retrieve a comb from a nearby set of drawers. With the comb in hand, Mika settles back behind Koko and begins to brush anew.
I'll go carefully. Your hair is so lovely, it would be a shame to ruin it. It is lovely golden color. Its lovely golden color reminds me of the sunshine as it spills through the forest. Or maybe egg yolks. I don't know if I like the sound of that. Egg yolks are awfully sticky. Let's stick with the sunshine then, it's more romantic.
Mika brushed out Koko's hair with measured strokes. She handles Koko's lock gently, almost reverently, as though they're something precious. I think she's being even more delicate than she was when she handed Aiyana and I that expensive, intricate necklace during our first encounter. Mika handles any number of extravagant trinkets during her line of work, but I doubt any can measure up to Koko's hair. In her mind, at least. Mika hums as she works, while Koko's eyelashes begin to drop. But that's one O. I think she must be nodding off, lulled by Mika's tuneless humming in the brush through her tresses. I feel like I should be the last person to point out the mistakes in the text because I mess up so many words when I'm reading today. Anyway, a warm, cozy atmosphere prevails throughout the tent. I'm starting to feel sleepy too, for nobody's toying with my hair. I wouldn't mind sitting between Mika's thighs while she runs that comb through my own hair. But I doubt she'd groom me as attentively as she's Koko. I'm not Mika's girlfriend, she's professed no feelings of undying love to me.
Are you alright, Koko? Getting sleepy? A little. I can tell. Your heart is starting to drop. You get so the chill before you're about to go to bed and you make the cutest noises. I could brush your hair for hours and hours without pausing. But I'm not selfish enough to keep you awake that long. I'll try to wrap things up soon, then we can curl up together and go to sleep. How does that sound? It sounds nice. I thought you'd say that. I know you as well as I know the lines that cross my own palms. Look at these two.
Maia pulls a face.
They're all over each other. I'm starting to feel distinctly unwanted.
I don't chime in Maia's murmuring, but I know exactly how she feels. This is clearly an intimate moment between Mika and Koko. They are so happy together in one another's company. It feels like they're emitting a radiant, almost celestial light. Mika's smile is so bright, I find it hard to look at her. I'm happy for the two of them, of course, but I can't quiet once. I can't quiet the worst of my anxieties. Okay. Which is? I feel restless that night and unable to sleep. Mika and Koko are snoozing while cuddled up intimately with one another. Mika spoons Koko as she did the night prior. Water. One arm looped about her stomach, as for meaning to claim her. The pair of them are smiling, their faces glowing with happiness. I'm glad for them, but looking at them makes me feel anxious. Despite Koko's prior reassurances by the river, I don't feel like I belong here. I rise, stretching and raise my arms above my head. The covers slide from my body, exposing my bared shoulders and stomach to the air. It's a cool night, and I shiver. I run a hand through my hair, then glance about the tent. Aiyana is lying on her side. Beneath another pile of blankets, I can only see the back of her head from this angle and her white hair which trails along the ground. She hasn't stirred at all, despite my shuffling. I think she must be asleep. I look next for Maia. She's lying not so far away from Aiyana, bundled up beneath her own blankets. Everybody else looks cozy, cocooned in the land of dreams. I wish I could join them. Why am I so full of nervous energy? I doubt I'll be able to get sleep in my current state, so...
A walk is just what the shaman ordered.
I murmur under my breath. I rise to my feet, then slink out of the tent. The flap closed behind me soundlessly, and soon I find myself swallowed up by the night. The sky overhead is a dark, midnight blue sprinkled with stars. They shimmer, mysteriously, in their multitudes, all cold and distant and far away. I'm reminded, once more, of the time I found Arie on the hill by her village. The stars were bright then too, but they seemed so lonely. Dude, this game tries to force Arie on you here. Literally, I feel like. I know it's too late for it, but I wish. But I could have stayed with Arie? No, I want Aiyana, okay? Arie had never fallen for me, let's go. But Arie hadn't fallen for me. While her confession was appreciated, she should have known there was no way I could have returned it. I have no interest in dating a princess. That sounds like a recipe for a disaster. Yeah, I don't know about that. Listen, Arie is great, but we are after Aiyana. If not Aiyana, then we would go Maia, that's for sure. And then I would say we could consider Arie. Of course, we'll be getting all the endings, but you know, that is my approach here and my belief. Aiyana, Maia, then we can talk Arie. I'm not graceful and elegant at all. Besides, I already have a partner. I care for Arie, but I don't care for her in that sense. I hope she's mooning after me still. I'd feel pretty guilty if that were the case. You don't have to. I inhale a lung full of cool breeze. I can feel it caressing my cheeks, my shoulders, and my stomach. The air helps clear the cobwebs from my brain somewhat, but it can't ease all my concerns. Koko has found somebody she cares about, perhaps more than she cares about Aiyana and I. She's moved on from our childhood friendship. Why then did Aiyana and I spend so much time looking for her? Were all our best efforts for nothing? It's as if it's as I'm pondering this gloomily, my head upturned towards the stars, that I hear it. There's a rustle behind me, of bare feet against the grass, and then... Guess who? All of a sudden my world goes dark. Hands are pressed against my eyes, and the familiar softness pushed against the curve of my naked spine. Ooh, I have a very bad feeling about this. I feel warm breath against the shell of my ear and hair tickling the nape of my neck. A faint floral aroma makes my nose twitch. I recognize these sensations and smells. I don't even need to think twice about it. After all, this isn't the first time she's done this. Okay, that's Maia, right? I don't know anybody more touchy-feely than...
Maia? Ding 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 ding! You get a prize! You said that last time you pulled the stunt and the prize has yet to appear. What?
Maia steps back, pouting. She links her arms behind her back and peers up at me from beneath her eyelashes.
Are you trying to suggest that my presence isn't reward enough? I'm not suggesting it. I'm outright stating it. Why would your company be reward when I have to put up with you every day? Put up with...
Maia echoes my less than stellar sentiments, her brow furrowed.
That isn't very nice. You make it sound like spending time with me is a chore, my dear Yaya.
You know what's funny? Like, Maia finds Mika annoying as heck, and Maia always clearly states that, right? And over here we have the same situation. Yaya has the same approach to Maia. And she doesn't realize that at all. Which is fine. But still, I think Maia is great.
Sometimes I feel...
Wait, did I read this? Okay.
Sometimes I feel like it is.
I turn my head away from Maia, then divert my gaze to the starry sky. The moon is round and full tonight, like a bowl of milk. It illuminates the tents and the trees and the top of my own head with one pale light. Of course, it is full like a bowl of milk because you already ate all the cereal. Not because you poured the milk first, which is incorrect. It, like the stars, looks sad and far away. I must be in a melancholic mood because the sight of the distant moon tugs at my heartstrings.
So, what are you doing out here? I could ask you the same thing. Why are you out and about at such an hour? Good girls should be tucked up beneath their covers, fast asleep. Says you. Says I indeed. Such cautions don't apply to me. Why not? Are you being a hypocrite, Maia? No, far from it. I'm not a girl, you see. I'm much too old for such a title, and well...
Come on, you're a girl. When I turn to Maia, I see that her smile is wider than I anticipated. Her teeth flash in the dark, just like the stars above our heads.
I have never once tried to be good. You've got me there. I suppose we just are meant to be wicked. Yes, indeed. My wickedness is part of my identity. I'm glad you are so quick to catch on. So, did you come out here to torment me? I came out here because I was concerned about you. Why? I thought you were asleep. I was asleep. You woke me up. Oh, I'm sorry. It's alright. I've been meaning to have a private conversation with you since our arrival at this village. There is no better way to go about that than to speak beneath the stars, methinks. You always seem to seek me out at night time. I wonder why. We witches feed upon the moonlight. It adds to our mysterious allure. Really?
I raised an eyebrow.
I didn't know you were a nocturnal species.
Well, I mean, that's true. Witches appear at night, pretty much. You didn't know that, but actually, when I was 10 or 11, something like that, I've been to a spot where the witches gather in Poland. Honest. Basically, it was on a school trip, and we were led to a place like that. It was I actually don't remember it much, but it was interesting. I just remember being there, and it being an interesting story. That's about it. Anyway.
I know you were a nocturnal species.
But yeah, the witches gather at night, not during the day. During the day there was literally not a single soul of a witch.
Yes, indeed. We're like bats and badgers. I highly doubt that.
This must be another one of Maia's silly jokes. She's trying to lighten the mood and perhaps ease the knot of tension in the pit of my stomach. Then no, I won't say that because I don't want to get on the bad side of the witches. Anyway, I suppose I can blame her for that. I hope there are some young witches for, not just old hags. Just like Maia. Anyway, I suppose I can blame her for that. She's quite considerate, actually.
I've been pondering something these last couple of days, you see. What? Your relationship with Koko. Oh, yeah?
I first sound unconcerned, but my voice betrays me. It cracks and I find I have to look away. My face is starting to feel hot.
What about it?
I can bring myself to look at Maia, but she continues to train her gaze upon me. Her amber eyes seem almost to pierce right through me as she says, her voice measured.
You are happy to see her again, aren't you?
I wince, when my complex feelings are obvious. I try to hide them, really, I have, but I guess I haven't done as thorough a job as I could have. I'm so transparent.
I'm happy to see her. Yes, of course I'm happy to see her. She's one of my best friends. I missed her.
But...
Why do you think there's a but?
Please don't question my intelligence. I know you, Yaya. I've been watching you, and I think I have a good handle on your personality. You have a bold, almost brash nature. You're confident about your things in most cases, and you rarely second guess yourself. You're very uncomplicated when it comes to expressing your emotions.
Hey, are you trying to call me simple?
Maybe I am, but I mean it in the best possible manner. Typically it's easy to see what you think. But you've been unusually guarded about Koko. That must mean you've had something waving up on your mind. Won't you confide in me? I'm worried about you. We're a part of a team, you and I. You can confide unto me all your secrets. I'll bear them, no matter how heavy the burden may be. That is what being a friend is all about.
Maia.
I blink at her, my eyes wide. I don't like complimenting Maia as a rule. I don't want to further fan the flames of her rampant egoism, but her sweet sentiments are appreciated. I'm on the verge of thanking her when...
That was so cool. I almost gave myself shivers. I really am too perfect.
In that instance, all the goodwill I might have felt towards Maia crumbles like an ant hill. So much for being sweet.
Don't you think I have a weight with words, Yaya? I could be a master orator. I really am wonderful. I think you're getting carried away. Don't praise yourself too much. It's unpleasant.
But if I don't, who will? You hardly ever compliment me, Yaya.
Do you wish I would?
Of course I do.
I'm working really hard to carry your favor.
The least you could do is say, "Oh, big sister of mine, you are so wise and worldly. I cannot help but admire you. Please hold me to your bosom and say I shall be yours forevermore."
Yeah, there's no way that's going to happen.
Excepting in my dreams, perhaps.
And why do you want me to call you big sister?
I know. I just think it sounds cute.
We're not related, for we don't look like anything alike.
And thank goodness for that. Why do you say thank goodness for that? Actually, I mean, I would say your skin color is pretty similar. You are both gifted in certain areas. You're both absolutely beautiful. Well, if Maia was my sister, I would never have gotten any peace and quiet growing up. That's true. Having such a raucous sibling would no doubt have warped me.
No, don't get too hung up on the semantics.
Beaming Maia off to the top of my head and you. We're getting off topic. Weren't you going to tell me about your feelings towards Koko?
No! You wanted me to tell you about my feelings towards Koko. I've been tight-lipped about the whole thing.
Oh dear. Don't you want to go find in your lovely big sister after she went out of the way to seek you out?
I already said you are not my sister.
I throw my hand off of me for the second time, scolding. My expression softens, however, a few seconds later.
But I suppose I don't mind talking to you. It might do me some good. I don't like keeping secrets.
Yay! I knew you'd come around here. There's nobody more trustworthy than I. I'll take your secrets to the grave. I swear on it.
With some luck, you won't be going there anytime soon. I know you're an old woman, but you look remarkably good for your age.
Why, thank you. I moisturize.
Sometimes I really do wonder how old you actually are.
Wonder away, I'll never tell.
Alright, fine, whatever.
I rolled my eyes.
Anyway, about Koko.
Yes, about Koko. Pray, do enlighten me. Maia sits down at my feet, cross-legged, as a small child might, and peers at me, all wide-eyed enthusiasm.
I'm listening, teacher. Right, well, what? I'm not your teacher.
I scratch my cheek, suddenly embarrassed. Having Maia at my feet is kind of awkward, but I try to ignore it.
I'm happy to see Koko again. Like I said, I'm surprised at just how well we've been getting along. She's just as easy to talk to as she's always been. I appreciate her friendship, but... Oh, here's the pesky path I was searching for.
Maia leans in, her eyes shining with intrigue. I wish there was a CG for that.
What's the issue, Yaya? I know if it's a real issue or whether I've made it up, but, well...
I feel with my fingers, my gaze diverted downwards.
I can't help but notice how happy Koko is with Mika. It's clear the relationship is close one beyond that of a mere friends. And I were under the assumption that when we reunited with Koko, she'd be so relieved that she'd want to return to our village with us post-haste. We thought once we were reunited, we'd remain together as we always were.
I mean, you two don't really have to return to your village, right? Especially since your village didn't appreciate Aiyana at all. Anyway.
But that might not be possible now. Koko isn't suffering, and she isn't lonely. I think she might be even happier now than she was. She's found a new place she belongs. She's living in the future, whereas Aiyana and I...
Actually, she's living in the present, but you know.
I guess we're still stuck in the past. I know if invited to return to our village, Koko would choose to remain with Mika. Why wouldn't she? They are in love. I don't want to get...
I mean, unless Mika would move too.
I don't want to get in the way of that, but all the same.
I sigh.
I'm afraid it will upset Aiyana. I don't want her to feel like she's being rejected.
Oh, I see. So you're worried on Aiyana's behalf, are you?
Yeah, that's right.
You don't feel any jealousy about Mika and Koko's relationship yourself? Not even the
tiniest twinge. No, I don't.
I glance away from my gaze, my arms wound about my middle.
Why do you ask?
I just want to ensure that I fully understood the situation. I thought you might perhaps have skimmed on one or two details. But maybe I'm overthinking it. Coincidentally, I think you might be overthinking matters too.
I am?
You are, yes. Maia smiles as for life is truly that simple and gives my ponte a light, playful tug. Aiyana is Koko's friend. As such, you'd be happy to see her happy, even if the form that happiness takes is unexpected. Koko's rejection might sting, but I'm sure she will accept whatever it is Koko eventually decides. It needn't matter if Koko refuses to return to her village. Aiyana has no cause to feel lonely, she still has you after all. You're the best friends that ever there were. You've endured much together. By this point, you should be more or less inseparable. I don't think that will ever change. I survey Maia in silence for a few moments, blinking, and then...
I guess you're right.
A small smile rises to my lips.
If Koko wants to stay with Mika, she should. I don't want her to sacrifice her happiness to spare my feelings.
Or Aiyana's feelings?
Oh yes, that's right.
I hasten to correct myself, my face flushing.
And as the one who will be upset, not me, I already come to terms with things, yes.
But of course, you're a mighty warrior, and nothing phases you.
Right!
I scratch my cheek with one finger. I can feel the heat bleeding from my skin like a wooden fire. I muffle at subterfuge. I inhale, taking a lungful of crisp air, and then begin anew.
I know what's going to happen, but our journey wasn't wasted. And I found Koko, and now we know she's alright. We don't need to keep worrying. And all these trials brought I and I even closer together. That has to count for something. I'm not gonna take Anna's friendship for granted. Not now, nor ever. I'm sure no matter what, we'll always stay together.
I think I changed her voice, by the way, compared to the previous 2 games, but...
We'll always stay together, and even if we can't, I will always have the memories. They'll never fade.
Good things might not last forever. Even the closest of friendships can fall apart through time and distance. But that doesn't strip these past relationships of all the meaning. It does mean they never happened. My friendship with Koko and Aiyana will always exist inside of me. I won't forget them. Oi, you are dating that girl, come on. What is with this saying, all of that, like you are going to not be together? What is the meaning of that? I can't believe I forgot something so simple. I really have been overthinking things. Maybe I should thank Maia for cheering me up. She might be a witch, but she's not all that wicked. Of course we will thank her. Yes.
Thanks, Maia.
Huh? What are you thanking me for?
Nothing in particular. I'm just glad you spoke to me, so you've helped me see the things in a new light.
I'm happy to be of service. As a witch, helping people is my duty. Normally I charge you for this, but I'll waive your fee for now, given we're such a good friends. Woohoo!
Huh? You'd actually charge me for giving me advice?
Naturally, I have to make a living somehow, you know.
Ah, I can't believe you. You really are a wicked witch.
No, that's the correct approach. Listen, don't do stuff for free. Don't do stuff that you know how to do for free. Don't do stuff that you know how to do for free for your friends as well. That's ridiculous. That's how you get used. I guess it's different when it comes to family, but I would say just like super close family. I will help my parents with stuff, yes. I will help my grandparents from my mother's side, yes. That's it. That's it. Maia's impossible, really. But I'm grateful for her company regardless. I think this is another moment Maia and I, sitting beneath the night sky, that I will never forget. Would be nice to have a CG for that, not gonna lie. Okay, with that being said, I think I will have to reuse the thumbnail with Koko and Mika sleeping together. But for now we are going to end the episode. We'll continue this story tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you have a wonderful day. If you found this video to be to your liking, consider using that free like button. Consider subscribing if you are not yet. If you think this might be a worthy content of doing that, you might also consider going to my social media, so Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. We are occasionally streaming on Fridays and Saturdays nights. And I think that is all. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye bye.